So, welcome everybody to today's techniques on how to deal with stress. I've decided to call this webinar here to help you guys the Stress Dissolving Blueprint. 3 powerful secrets to reset your stress mind. And it's some very simple techniques, okay? Very simple yet powerful techniques which will help you gain some clarity on how to reduce your stress. Now, the 3 things we're going to be going through, all the things which stress heads must know before they continue damaging their bodies with stress hormones. Okay, some really good things here, which if you are a stress head, it's going to be some fantastic guidance on how to reduce the amount of stress which is within your body. So before we get cracking, let me ask you a question. Would it be worth it to you if finally you had a mind which was so overactive with anxious thoughts all day long? Okay, because anxiety thoughts, the more we do, the more we practice positive and negative thinking and habits, the more we do, the more that pathway is carved in our mind. Would it be worth it to you if you could learn how to calm those anxious thoughts all day long? Would it be worth it to you if you could feel more calm and present within each moment, within the now, we like to call it? Would it be better if you could have better sleep, to be less frustrated at others and to gain some clarity over your mind? Why do I say less frustrated to others? Because stress, with all those hormones that are in our body, once it starts clouding our mind and we can't concentrate properly, some of our reactions are the typical fight, flight and freeze reactions that we hear regarding those who've got anxiety, those who are under threat, and that can actually cause us to become frustrated, overwhelmed, and actually begin to be snappy at others. Would it be worth it for you if you could have better sleep, calm that mind, and become less frustrated? I know that when I get stressed, that's something that happens to me. I get very frustrated and very stressed. And if I could show you that stress is not a way of life, and everyone can retrain your mind and have a more peaceful outlook on life, hopefully that'll be worth it for you. So what makes this different to other webinars? Well, in all honesty, the main thing that stands out to me, what makes this one different to other ones that you could have heard of, is because I'm doing it. And if I'm doing it, it's going to be made pretty simple. I like to keep things simple because that's how I learn. If it's not made extremely simple, I'm not going to really know. I'm not really going to take it in. So just like myself, if you're just like myself and like things to be literally plain English, this is what you're going to get today, because that's the way I feel that most people learn quickly and effectively. So it's going to break down these techniques so you can actually start using them right away from today. Okay, there's no waiting around, and I will be combining many useful techniques which will elevate your success at lowering your stress. Okay, now the last one that we're going to be doing, the last secret, there's 3 of them. It may surprise you. It's something which I've been looking into recently, and it did surprise me actually, just how effective it is. So it may surprise you as it did with me. Now, those who stay on till the end, unlike the other webinars that I've done in the past that you may have seen, this one at the end, there is a chance to go on an online course with me. And if you stay till the end, there will be a bonus for those who stay at the end, if those who want to go on a course to further development the abilities to reduce stress. So why should you listen to me? Who am I? Okay, my name is Ian Q. Those who haven't met me, nice to meet you. If you're the first time here and first time seeing one of my webinars, it is lovely to meet you, and I hope we get to meet one day in person. I am a master hypnotist, a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner, and a hypnosis and mind coach trainer. Now, a lot of people know what hypnosis is or have heard of it, and NLP, so they're the ones at the top, but I've also trained in many other methodologies, such as integrated eye movement therapy, and sports mind coach diploma. The list goes on. But the reason that I do these webinars now is because I've already seen hundreds of clients one-to-one for things such as anxiety and stress, and things such as trauma as well, and help them get over that and build up people's confidence. That's my main thing, is to look at people and see where the potential is to get them to condition their mind so it works best for them. Okay, so I've helped hundreds of clients, but now I want to help more people by doing some more group work, more seminars. Okay, I've got over 12 years experience in helping people improving their mindset, and I'm the founder of a company called Ultimate Mental Conditioning, also known as UMC 50. So that is who I am. If you was wondering who's giving this seminar, that is who I am. It's the first time that we've met. It's lovely to meet you, and thank you for being here. Hopefully you get lots of value today. So again, the reason that you're here is I'm not just somebody who is put some things together overnight. I've got plenty of reviews that you are more than welcome to look up on Google. Help many people overcome stress as well, and anxiety amongst other issues. And it is a deep passion of mine to help other people. Okay, I actually really do thoroughly enjoy seeing people's success, from those who are in some kind of pain to then them overcoming some of the awful things they've gone through, for them to thrive. So let's go into it. Let's start. Let's break it down. Let's go into this webinar, which is regarding stress. So first of all, what is stress? Okay, what is stress? How do we react to stress? How do you react to stress? Okay, what is it, the thing that you notice within your body when you get too stressed? Stress is our body's reaction to too much overload. Okay, our stress is our body's a way of dealing with potential threat to ourselves. Now, 100 years ago, this ability to feel a quick impact of stress was very useful. If you've got something which is going to eat you, like a saber-toothed tiger, for instance, you need your brain to pick up on that danger. And what it does is it dumps a load of hormones in your body, and it causes you to react very quickly. Okay, very quickly. And again, the main ways it's going to react is fight, flight, and freeze. You've probably heard of those three things before. There's two other unknown ones as well, which is friend or flop. Okay, where people flop to the ground and play dead. Okay, now that is when you're in a life-threatening situation, and it's still is as relevant as then as it is today to actual threat and danger. Now, however, when it comes to things like zebras, they see the threat, they run away, they escape, they calm down, and things are all good. Okay, they don't catastrophize things, they don't think about the past, what they've gone through, or the future. They just carry on eating the grass, and that's why zebras don't get ulcers. Now, however, humans do, because what we're able to do is we're able to look into the past, we're able to imagine the future, and we start to build up pictures of things that could go wrong, the things that we've got to get done. We've got pressures from work, pressures from family, and all of these things begin to clog our mind, and it begins to set off the same signals as those threats. And again, it begins to pump in those chemicals within our body. Now, what this analogy can be spoken to like, as you can see in this picture, is it's like having your foot on that gas pedal, having that foot on the autonomous system. Okay, it's causing that part of the nervous system to be constantly activated, which can then mean that this person over time, that keeps on having that foot on the gas and not putting that foot off the gas onto the brake, they can become hyper vigilant, seem always on alert, and it just causes them to feel that constant stress. And that what can then happen is the consequence of that can be lack of sleep because of constantly thinking about things, stomach problems, frustration, anger, tired, depression, anxiety. All of these things can start crashing down on those who are getting chronic stress. What is actually happening here? Why is this occurring? Why do we actually get these issues? And the reason is because it's stress, because the body thinks it's in some kind of a danger or threat to the system, because we're able, because of the part of our brain as humans we're able to do more so than animals, because able to imagine all of these things going wrong, or the amount of pressure it puts on ourselves. The blood, because it feels it's under threat, pumps all the blood to your arms and to your legs and starts to take it away from your organs. Okay, which means it stops your digestion. There's less blood going to the other organs. It's saying that you need your arms and legs to run. You need your arms and legs to fight and to deal with the threat that you've got in your mind, which can cause some real problems. Okay, if that happens for a long period of time, constantly each day. Now, the longer the gas is on, what can then eventually happen is the harder it can become to actually allow the brakes to start working, that rest and restore, the rest and digest. The foot's always on the brake, it's harder. Its foot's always on the gas, it's harder to get those brakes to work. So we need to work hard to get those brakes to work properly. Otherwise, we may end up causing ourselves some issues. We need the brakes, which is our parasympathetic nervous system, which is a rest and restore. No matter how many times I say that word, it's always a tongue twister for me. Now, constant having it on the gas can cause inflammation. Okay, inflammation. Now, inflammation is often a good thing. It's used to heal, but if it's not stopped and it continues, it can cause chronic inflammation, and the body can actually start causing itself some issues. Okay. So, what we're going to be looking to today is getting you to understand that these stresses in life, there is a way to help you assist moving away from that gas pedal and begin to start putting your foot on the brakes. Okay, so we can begin to heal ourselves, heal our mind, heal our body, and begin to reduce the amount of stress in, as much as possible, a drug-free way. Now, obviously, if some of these methods don't help, and at the end of the day, the course at the end of this doesn't interest yourself, if you are getting chronic stress, this is just some guidance. Please, if it continues or you have trouble, then please go and see your doctor. This is just some methods, which are some drug-free way methods, which will hopefully serve you. So again, what is stress? Most of the information that we have from our brain goes down a nerve called the vagus nerve. Okay, and it goes to every single part of our body, the vagus nerve, okay, the biggest nerve within our body, and all the information collated, 80% of it from all the organs, 80% of that information goes back to the mind. Okay, the more that we are aware of our state, the more that we become consciously aware of our state with our mind, the more we're able to get this vagus nerve, also known as vagal tone, to become strengthened, and we can begin to feel mentally and emotionally aware of ourselves, which will help to keep our stress levels down. So that's enough about stress. Let's get cracking into some of the methods to reduce some stress. Hopefully this will give you lots of value. So welcome to the Stress Resolving Blueprint, 3 powerful secrets to reset your stressed mind. Here we go. Secret number 1, which I like to call your own personal energy pot. Now, we have here a pot, and underneath a nice hot flame. Now imagine your energy within your body is like a cooking pot. You fill the pot with things that you love doing. You fill it with some rest, with relaxation, things that make you happy, yeah? Things that it's cause you just to forget about all of the issues and problems in life. When you fill that pot, you feel extremely happy. Now imagine that the flame underneath it is what is required to keep you moving, to keep you on your toes, to keep you sharp, to keep you organized. Now, if the balance is right, you will find yourself at the most efficient. You work at your best, and you can actually find your optimum level of stress, because there is a big thing. Not all stress is bad. We are all different. We all cope with stress in different ways, and some things will stress one person, won't stress another, and whatever that what doesn't stress this person may stress extremely this person. We can actually find that peak where we find that most amount of optimum stress gets us sharp, gets the best of our ability, because a certain amount of stress isn't bad. It's when we overload it. And in this picture, the overload comes when those flames start to get too hot, when all of those things, okay, or one big thing. Imagine a big log going on that fire, way too big for the fire, okay, and it starts to get too hot and you're not able to get enough back. You're gonna get what some of you may have experienced before, and it's a good analogy, this cooking pot, because you'll know if you felt it, you'll get burnt out. Okay, it feels like you've got nothing left. Your body and mind start showing symptoms telling you this as well, because if you don't get your mind to find time for relaxation and you start burning out, trust me, your body will find that time for you, because when that burnout happens, you'll notice it. And what others will see potentially in you is always being tired, okay, always overreacting. Perhaps you're suddenly eating too much or too little. But what can be hidden underneath all of these things that other people are seeing but not understanding or noticing is that underneath it is stress. So we need to work out that balance. Okay, need to work out that balance. Good dieting, good amount of rest, good amount of family time, good amount of exercise. Okay, what is going out? Well, we need to still deal with our work. We need to get that done. We need to be on top of the work as we can. Sort out bills, money, making sure the house is tidy. Okay, some people it might be the exercise, it's the output. Okay, and some of the foods that we like as a treat. We got to get that balance right, and if we do, we will begin to get the right amount of balance for input output, and we'll start to be able to deal with stress in a really positive way. So here is a case study. Okay, so and it's referring to this energy pot secret that I'm speaking about now. And this case study, again, all names are changed, okay, for this. I had a client called Jason, and he came to me when he basically hit burnout. And when we broke down, we found that his life goals and ambition, they were good ones, but the main point of his goals, one of the ones which was quite concerning, was that he was chasing the money. He was chasing it, and he would do anything he could. And he's finding out that he was burning all out. Okay, he was looking for the money, so therefore he was chasing the promotion, he was chasing the goals, he was chasing leads, and because he was concentrating fully on that, he was not giving himself any time to relax, any time to do things he loved. In fact, he'd buried it. He'd buried all of these things that he once loved doing under this tunnel vision of success, or what his mind would interpret as success, which was the fast car, the big house. Okay, now underneath that, when we start to peel that back, we realize that these forgotten things which gave him the energy, which gave him what is real success, which was family, friendship, okay, social life. When we start to put those things back in the pot and we balanced it out, it was wonderful to see that he then had more energy and balanced that stress out to be more positive at work. So it actually worked out very well for him. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. That's secret number 1, which is known as the energy pot. Look at yourselves and begin to work out, have you got the balance right? Okay, now there is more detail regarding this energy pot as to how you do that, but hopefully that will give you some idea to what to do. when you look at your day-to-day life, are you doing enough of this? Are you doing enough of this? If you used to get a glass and you was to take away all the things that drained your energy, how much are you putting back in? So number 2, here we go. Number 2, we have your secretary. Okay, only you are going to be able to notice the changes within your body. So beginning to see where and who make you stressed. Okay, we've all got people in our lives that stress us out. Okay, how much time are you spending with these sort of people? What sort of situations are causing you stress? Do you know when it is you need to stop? Okay, are you aware of how you are within work and home? Do you have the ability to separate your worlds? And this is where your secretary comes in. This is where your secretary comes in, because that secretary, there we go, nice picture there. That secretary, it has your back, okay? And your secretary, she is going to help organize your mind and your mental state and things like your day. So you know what you're doing and when. Okay, you begin to become organized regarding your time. You know, time doesn't have to be specific to time, but you should have a feel as to when you want to get things done, and you should have that finish line in place. Okay, so you can able to start to achieve things and set aside time and balance it right. You're able to make these huge tasks that people throw at you more manageable, including the goals you set yourself. Because when we look at something like Everest, we don't look at the whole mountain and think, oh my days, that is the most demotivating thing, to look up a mountain like that and go, oh, I've got to climb that. You just take it one step at a time. You take it segment by segment. So this part of your brain is your responsibility to find this part of your brain, this secretary, this organization, and start to set out what you want to achieve, when, how, okay, how that's going to make you feel once you've achieved it. Give yourself a pat on the back for starting. Let me give you a little secret as well regarding this. If you've got lots of things to do within the day and you've got to start organizing your time, I'm going to tell you, this is a great tip. This, if you're one of these people who likes to make that things to do list, I'll tell you this now. Do the one that drains you the most first. While you've got the most energy, get it out the way with. Stop putting it off. The smaller tasks, the easy, the mundane, the quick tasks, you can do them at the end, because you won't mind doing them at the end. But that one that you really don't want to do, if that one is left to the end, you're going to look at it and go, oh, tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. I can't be bothered to do it today. Get them ones done first. Okay, so this secretary should really be ideally looking after your thoughts, filing away the useless one and focusing on the good ones. So it's not just about organization of your goals and your tasks, but it's also organization of your thoughts. Okay, listening to your thoughts. Is this a useful thought, or is it one that's holding me back? What kind of a voice are you telling it to yourself in? Okay, should I be focusing on this one, or can I be thinking of a more positive one? Yeah. So get that mind, get that secretary to work. So a little case study here regarding somebody who struggled with this side of her mind. So her name was Jennifer. She had a chaotic lifestyle. She wasn't sure where she was going in life. She was exhausted trying to do her best, although she never felt good enough. Okay, does anybody here resonate with that? She juggled a busy life, busy desk, busy work. And the words that she used to me was, it just all felt cluttered, okay, all over the place. Now, after working with her, setting some small homework tasks, we arranged a plan to begin to calm all this clutter down, starting with some environmental changes such as tidying the room, tidying the bedroom, tidying desk, making your bed each day. Okay, I've heard a wonderful quote that if you make your bed each day in the morning, if you make your bed each day in the morning, you have achieved the first task of the day, which you've succeeded in. So you've already started your day on a positive. To always make your bed. So we've got these things to be trained into her mind, getting herself organized, getting the clutter removed from the desk, clutter removed from the room, to have a more calming environment. Okay, so she could start to feel comfortable. From there, planning with what was needed to be achieved, both short term and long term, but then allow her to have less pressure on herself. Okay, because the golden rule was always with Jennifer was this: make the task manageable, but if you feel you're getting overstressed, walk away. And what I've said to her, that it's okay to walk away from them, but the main thing is this, is to know that your best is your best for now, and your best is always good enough. Okay, people are very hard on themselves, a lot of pressure is put on people, but your top ability is always going to be your best, and you should always feel proud about that. And again, remember, everyone's individual, so what makes you good at one thing, someone else will have no idea how to do it. Okay, so again, your best can now be turn up tomorrow, rather than this exhausted, depleted shell of a person who's gone overboard and overstressed themselves. So hopefully, again, that is something I deal with a lot, and it is the pressure people put themselves. They make themselves feel not good enough. Guys, you are good enough. Okay, you all work hard, and it's okay to tell yourself each and every day that you are enough. Okay, and your best is always good. Secret number 3. Here we go. Now, this is the one that surprised me. You would have heard it a lot. You would have heard the next one a lot. But when I speak about it, it was actually more to do with more the science of it that surprised me with this. Okay, the last one is the power of your breath. Okay, now when I say secret number 3, the power of your breath, I don't mean that you've just had a whole load of garlic bread and the power of that breath could cause somebody to fall over. That's not the sort of power I'm talking about. That's a different level of power. Okay, what I'm talking about is the state of frequency within your breath. Because did you realize this? That the frequency of your breathing actually entrains the heart and the blood pressure and brain wave. It gets it all to synchronize and to line up together and to flow together. When we are stressed, we breathe often quite shallow up here on top of our chest. And it's autonomous, which means we don't even realize we are doing it. When things start to build up, I know I get it when I'm trying to, my back is hurting because I'm trying to change one of my kids' shoes while the other one is jumping on my back. And then I'm trying to do 3 things at once. Somebody is calling at me. And you know, when these things suddenly hit you at once and suddenly you just feel it building up. When you feel that next, just begin to notice your breathing. You'll notice it. Okay, it's up here. Now, if we do this for too long, we are sending signals to our brain as well that we are stressed if we are breathing like that automatically. If you sit there doing short breaths into your chest, short, sharp breaths, you'll find yourselves getting stressed, okay? Now, if we get the rhythm right, it will actually begin to change our nervous system from this fight, flight, freeze, from this gas to the brakes. And what we really want is equal pressure. We want the rhythm to be the same. And if we get that right, if we get the frequency well, it will begin to lower blood pressure. If we do this daily, it will begin to reduce the stress. It will lower things like chronic inflammation. It will reduce anxiety. It will lower stress. It can help with things such as chronic depression. It will help reduce IBS, all of these different things, okay, because we go on to this automatic breathing habits which isn't serving us, and we often do it throughout most of the day. The way you can often tell, even when you're sitting there listening to me, as to what your breath is like and whether it's serving you well, is when you're breathing in, if you put your hand on your chest and a hand on your stomach, if you breathe in, if you notice that your chest rises first, and then a little bit to your stomach and then out, the chances are you're breathing from your shoulders and your neck, okay, which is often a more stressful way of breathing. And you may find that you can on occasion suffer from things like a tight neck and tight neck and tight shoulders up here. That's where you get your knots, and it feels like you could do with a massage. Another way to test it is if you're breathing up here, is if you hold your hands on your shoulders and you're breathing and you notice your shoulders rising, okay, that could often mean you're breathing too high. Ideally, what we want, okay, regarding this, it's called resonance breathing. What ideally we want really is to have our hand on our chest and our hand on our stomach. And we breathe in through our stomach first, and then it fills up our chest. And we want to see if we can get that in for a slow 5 seconds. Average, everyone is slightly different, but the average is about 5 breaths in per minute and then out. Okay, so 5 full breaths in and out. Okay, within the same rate that you breathe in to the same rate you breathe out, often for about 5 seconds in to around 4 or 5 seconds to the breath out. Okay, now I know some of you guys might have heard to breathe out longer than breathing in does help push them brakes down. That is true. It does help go to the parasympathetic nervous system. Still can't get that right, but there we go. However, what we want to do on a daily basis is look to get the rhythm right in and out. Okay, that will begin to create a frequency within our body, which will help with things like blood pressure and lower stress within our body. And it will be very helpful. The other thing that helps with this is because often our unconscious mind is dealing with the breathing. We don't normally think about our breathing most of the time. It's just automatic. But if we gain conscious thought over our breathing, it means we gain conscious thought over what is often an unconscious habit. So we start to gain conscious control over it. We can start to gain conscious control over other things, which is automatic by the unconscious brain, such as what we're thinking about, how we're thinking about it, how we are feeling. Okay, so we have that chance to begin to change and regulate that whole nervous system. So, little case study. We got a guy called Sean. He was stressed up to his eyeballs. Work-life balance was always out of whack, and he couldn't see the woods through the trees. Okay, and asking him if he had tightness around his neck and shoulders, he seemed surprised that I was able to know this about, he said he would need some massages every now and then because he could feel it right on his shoulders. Okay. And we found that he was breathing out of line and that he was breathing only from the top of his chest and from his shoulders and neck, causing tightness in these areas. So after showing them some powerful techniques and stress reduction techniques, he found that his muscles seemed to be more relaxed. He actually had some reduction in headaches, and this all reduced considerably. Okay. And after this, once we got control of that, we could then work in other areas. So at the time of this stress, okay, stress does affect people in different ways. It could be when your body's had enough. I'll tell you what it is. When your body's had enough and you've had a hard day at work, and what do you want to do when you get home? On the sofa. Okay. Some people, they've got a very small fuse because of the amount of stress. Okay, so he was actually one of these people who got a little bit snappy towards people that were trying to make sure he was okay. And he suffered with headaches, IBS, racing heart, and a lack of that, that fogginess and concentration all the time, because constantly thinking about the things that needed to be done. So I hope you've enjoyed what I've gone through so far today. Okay, so during this webinar, I've shared 3 powerful things with you. I hope that it has been time well spent for you so far. Now, again, it is a very short webinar. If you do these things, it will help. Please practice. There is no point of having information if there is no action afterwards. At the very least, practice some of these things I've told you. Look it up, research. I just hope that I've given you guys some value today. Now, as you can be aware, I can't cover everything in such a short webinar. So I've got a special offer for those who are here. So I can offer more things that you need to know. And if you act fast, okay, I've got an offer for you guys for an online course if you want to go on that journey with me to help you guys reduce stress. Okay. Now, if you're happy with the information you have that I've provided with you and there's value today, and that's enough for you, and you feel you've got a handle on it, great. Then that's it for now. They've got a few more reviews up here of some of the work I've done just to fill in this space. But if you think that you've got enough, you've got a handle on it, that's great. Go away, practice. Please let me know how you get on. I am online. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You give me a shout and let me know how it is for you. However, if you are interested in going further with like-minded people and you're happy to work within a group setting, probably with cameras off and things like that, but work together through eliminating stress, then stay on for a little bit longer. Okay. So those who are still here, let me ask you a question. If you resonate with anything here that I've discussed, and I feel you are in the right place, stress has many problems associated to it, as I've discussed in the webinar. And not just the ones that we're aware of, but others which happens inside ourselves too. And this can be, again, struggling sleep, suffering with that brain fog that you've possibly had before, stressful feelings from your stomach into your chest. And I tell you, when I get it, if I get too much, I notice it in my cheeks. It feels like I've literally filled myself up with stress, and I actually feel it across the top of my face. And that's where I know I've taken on too much, is when I feel it in my face. Okay. So if you're struggling to regulate those frustrations and you're beginning to potentially take it out on others, then you would want to go on a journey to regulate this nervous system. Then this is a start. So first of all, just imagine having a potentially much more of a clearer mind, a better digestion, because when we deal with stress, it means that we can go to the rest and restore, rest and digest part of our brain, so we can start to digest food better, to have less stomach issues, lower blood pressure, more balance with life, better handle on difficult situations, less irritable, better sleep, stronger relationship, and a higher libido, and more. Then this is the idea which I had, and I've called it, because it's leading up to Christmas, the idea is to have more presence in time for presence. Do you like what I've done there? Yeah, presence in time for presence. Okay, ideally I would like you guys all, those who are stressed a lot, in time for Christmas, with a huge lowering of stress and its symptoms. I would do my best to lower those symptoms of stress. Okay, I would do my best to get your mind to the best lowering stressful position as I can. And as a group, we will do this as best as we possibly can. Okay, so I'm introducing a course which is called the Presence of Mind course. It's a 4-week course helping reduce stress within your life. And then there are some of the other benefits there. So we're looking to get you to feel calmer. We'll look at symptoms like frustration, panic, anxiety. You'll learn where they come from and how to break the cycle to become more relaxed and resilient. To help you think more clearly, we explore the links between thoughts and feelings. You learn how to recognize the different styles and patterns of thinking, and how to challenge the ones which aren't helpful. And of course, to reduce stress holistically, holistic view of your life and the way it's run, and reorganizing mental tasks to declutter them. What we're going to be cover: organizing thoughts, environment, and those around you, managing your own emotions, stress reduction methods, and practicing breathing methods to help specific breathing techniques aim at lowering these. If you're watching, who is this course not for? Probably someone who's not ready to commit in something like this. They're not really wanting to put in the work. Okay, I generally do want results from anyone who works with me, and I say that it's one of my first things I do on any calls, that the commitment's needed. And if they're setting tasks, you need to commit. Someone who's not ready to invest in their time or money within themselves to overcome it. Someone who's just looking for something to do, Ideally, we want people there who have got stress, someone who refuses to notice success in themselves or others' actions and looks to blame. Okay. I want to create an environment where everyone feels safe and comfortable and can start to get people on the rise. Who is it for? Again, someone who's committed, someone ready to put in the work, someone wanting to push out of the comfort zone, encourage others around them to do the same, and someone who has an open mind for new techniques. So how much is this course going to be worth? So your investment would be £247. Okay. But it's coming up to Christmas, so that's how much I was told to charge more than this, but that was the price I decided to charge. However, I decided that the investment for this course was going to be £147. That is how much this course the tickets are. Now, those who have stayed here till the end, okay, those who are here on this webinar, who listen to this webinar, and those who've got this code because you've watched it, it is going to be with a code £97. Okay, that's again the Black Friday codes are flying around. I thought I'd jump on this Black Friday code thing. I would have given a code anyway, but Black Friday is this big thing on this weekend, isn't it? So Black Friday code is BFUMC15. With that, there's £50 off, and that is until 10:30 tonight. And after that, that code is going to be deleted, so that code won't last for any longer than that. So 10:30 tonight, anybody who uses that code, that is the price. I am going to send a link at the end of this webinar onto the chat, the Eventbrite link, for anybody to click on. It's going to the tickets are sold on Eventbrite, and each week it's going to be held on Zoom, weekly on Zoom. Okay, it's going to start very soon. Monday the 29th, get started straight away. Monday the 29th of November, going all the way up to December. Okay, I think it's like December the 20th is going to be the last one on a Monday, and we're going to look to do a discussion on how to deal with stress, how to reduce stress, and we're going to be looking to provide you and teach you ways to lower your stress using breathing and some live mind calming sessions, meditation kind of sessions. Those who are interested and got concerns, I do offer a 7-day money back guarantee. If there's some reason that you're not happy with the session or the course, there is a 7-day money back guarantee. Limited numbers. I'm opening up the course until the Monday, okay, until just before the course, the Monday, and then it's going to close. So don't hesitate if you want to be on it. I do hope that if you are still listening to hear if you're going to come on the course or not, that today has provided you lots of value, that you've enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure talking to you, okay, and I'll put in that link now. I'll speak to you all soon, and I'll catch you later.